All right, hello. We're live. Thanks for joining me. We're going to be talking about blessings. And in this case, we're going to be talking about blessings of the belt of the Fury Usyk fight. Oh my gosh, I can't say that name. I'm sorry. It's a fight between obviously two boxers and the WBC or the World Boxing. What is it? The World Boxing Court count. I forget exactly what the WBC stands for, but they're a professional boxing association, and they presented the belt for this fight to Pope Francis, and Pope Francis gave it a papal blessing. Now, this is kind of a weird question, and one that I think not a lot of people may understand or appreciate. But what's the difference between a papal blessing and like your priest's blessing in your parish? Well, according to Father Charles Grandin at Catholic Answers, nothing. There's no difference. An object is either blessed or not blessed. And so whoever's blessing it is more of a sentimental matter. In this case, when the leader of the largest religion in the world blesses something, obviously that's going to get attention, and it should get attention, but it's not any different than if a priest were to do it. So there's that question. But what happens when something is blessed? Well, that's a bit more nuanced, but we're going to get into that just a little bit. So again, from Catholic Answers, they cite the Catechism of the Catholic Church, paragraph 1671. Among sacramentals, blessings of persons, meals, objects, and places comes first. Every blessing praises God and prays for his gifts. In Christ, Christians are blessed by God the Father with every spiritual blessing. This is why the Church imparts blessing by invoking the names of Jesus, usually while making the holy sign of the cross of Christ. So this is also one of the reasons why me as a father, like I will bless my kids at night. And so I will bless them by giving them the sign of the cross on their foreheads. There's another piece that I'd like to go over because it kind of goes into the detail of the average life of an individual. And so this is from this is still Catholic Answers, but this is the encyclopedia from, I believe it was like 1902 to 1917, the Catholic Encyclopedia. And here we have, lastly, inanimate things that subserve the equitable needs and conveniences of society may receive from the Church the stamp of her benediction before they are sent out on their way to do their appointed tasks. So in this case, the appointed task it's a championship belt. It's like the Stanley Cup if we're talking about the NHL, if that were to ever get blessed. Such, for instances, are new ships, new railways with trains and carriages, new bridges, fountains, wells, corn mills, lime kiln, I can't say that, I'm sorry. Smelting furnaces, telegraphs, steam engines, machines for producing electricity. And then it heads at this, which I think is particularly of interest for this, is the many serious accidents that occur explain the concern of the Church for those whose lives are exposed to danger from these various sources. So obviously the belt is not going to be used to hit anybody with, but boxing in general is not exactly a unsafe sport. It can be very dangerous and somebody can die. And so the idea that the Pope is blessing a belt is very, I think, well-intentioned and good with what I just read. Then I do want to add one more thing, and this comes from the Archdiocese of Detroit. This is my archdiocese, and it explains a blessing a little bit more in detail. So a blessing is a sacramental and invokes God's power and care upon some person, place, thing, or undertaking. Blessings are not merely protections against the devil. They invite God to be with us as we make our pilgrimage through this world. God is a very active father who wants to be involved in every area of his children's lives. He wants to be with couples on their anniversaries, mothers before childbirth, children on their birthdays. He wants to be with us in our homes, at our places of employment, and at the hospital when we are sick. He wants to be with us in our tools when we have a job to do, on the road, in our vehicle. He enjoys sharing in our leisure. He wants to be with us when we undertake a project. even wants to be with us through our pets as they too express goodness, and all goodness comes from God. Blessings raise our eyes up to God and bring his loving presence down to us. And so for a lot of us, when we look at sports events, we may not look at them as what they are to the people who are actually in them. And so, and that's a job. Like boxers, athletes, like those that play hockey and football, like that is their job. And just like you can get blessings for your job, as read from the encyclopedia, it makes a lot of sense why you would want a belt blessed, or even like, the case where the mitts blessed for boxing. That would make a lot of sense because that is part of their job. And even though it is entertainment, it is something that they themselves are in the world with. And for both fighters, they have both exclaimed very proactively that they believe in Jesus Christ and follow him. Fury, I believe it's kind of mixed on whether or not he's Catholic. That's a little unclear. His wife seems to be a practicing Catholic. He may or may not be a Catholic. And then Usyk is Eastern Orthodox. So they both come from the two, oldest religions in Christianity. And so that's, I think, very important. And so the fact that the Pope did bless this, I think is very, it's good. It's a very good thing. Lastly, before I end with this, because I thought this was like kind of funny and weird at the same time. If you know fighting, this will probably be hilarious. I'm not going to go into the huge detail, but back in 2019, Pope Francis named Deontay Wilder. I believe he had fought Fury in the past, who had paid him a visit, the boxer's representative and ambassador for peace through sport. I just thought that was really funny, and I hope you do too, because like that to me is just funny. I guess that wasn't the last thing. I have one more thing. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that was the last thing. I do have one thing that I'm going to be doing with this fight in particular that is not just explaining blessings. I have another channel. Let me see if I can. So this is the logo in the upper right. Learn the stats. It is a statistics channel where I teach statistics, and I've been getting into using statistics in a more practical way. And in this way, or in this video, I'm going to be setting up a model to approximate what the best, let's just say, what the best variables are for someone winning. So how tall they are, their reach, their weight, their age. I'm going to be looking into all these different things, and I'll be coming up with a model. And at the end of it, I'm going to have a prediction on who's going to win the fight. And so, this is kind of like weird because I don't typically cross-reference my other channel, Learn the Stats, so directly. But given that it's kind of like there's this nice like overlap here with the Pope blessing, I get to explain blessings with it, but from Catholic Answers and my archdiocese. But I also am promoting the idea of applying statistics to understand, all right, what factors matter in a fight. And so, and then from there, estimating who's going to win the fight before it happens. So if you're interested in learning that, please subscribe to that channel, because that video will come out, I believe, about a week before. So like May 18th, I think, is the fight. So yeah, May 18th is the fight. It'll come out about May 11th, so a week ahead. So just so you have that information. But besides that, I hope this has helped you learn what a blessing is, or more details on blessings, or where to find more information on them. Thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your day.